A Quiet Place Day 1 hits theaters this weekend, and I gotta say, this is gonna be a movie that may divide people, but it was right up my alley. Let's check out the trailer, like and subscribe if you like this type of review content, and we'll talk about this amazing new movie in this amazing franchise.
A Quiet Place Day 1.
That's right. A Quiet Place Day 1 may not be the big action-y movie that I think some people were hoping for, or even some type of prequel explaining movie on who these aliens are and where they came from. What it is instead is a very, very, very deep emotional character journey for Lupita Nyong'o's character, who eventually, who will run into Joseph Quinn's character of Eric, and go from there and on whatever the journey that Lupita Nyong'o is on. And this movie is not going to be probably what everybody wants or expects. I already looked at Rotten Tomatoes. You can see the audience score here. You can see the critic score here. Going through the audience score, a lot of the complaints are lack of action. It was boring. I don't understand, weak plot, and it didn't explain the aliens at all. And maybe I can understand those complaints a bit if those are your expectations going in. But what I will say is this movie was a fantastic, deep, emotional character journey of just, again, like I said, Lupita Nyong'o's character. You find something out in the very beginning of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but it sets the tone and going forward of the whole movie. And everybody acting around her experience, what her mission per se, makes total sense, and in some ways was beautiful, and not in some ways, for me, was beautiful and just inspiring in ways. And that mainly is due to Lupita Nyong'o's just pure amazing acting skills. I don't know if this is a type of movie that could ever get some Oscar consideration. It's definitely more art housey, both concept and filming, and she's a rock star in this movie. She carries her character through so many different things, so many different emotions, so many different ranges. You really get attached to her. You want to see her succeed in this mission that she's going on. You care very much about her journey throughout, or at least I care very much about her journey throughout. And just pure humanity, in my opinion, from Lupita Nyong'o in this movie. And I absolutely cannot say nothing but positive things about it. I think, for me, both A Quiet Place Part 1 and Part 2 were always, the root of them, what made them so great, wasn't the aliens per se. The concept was great, and you still get that great quiet concept here, I feel. But it was the characters and the story that you attach to that matter, that make the whole surrounding ideas great. And Lupita Nyong'o and her character here in this movie, I think, nailed that down for me, and just told a very, very, what some may say sad, some may say inspired, I will say heartwarmingly, just, I love the journey and the acting and her character, what she went on. Joseph Quinn, when he arrived in the movie, I loved him as Eric, and just being able to connect with Nyong'o's character and their journey, and as he kind of joins her on the journey that she's on, and their connection that they make throughout. I think Joseph Quinn, as we know from Stranger Things, delivers such a strong performance, and both of these actors here are displaying so much emotion, so much chemistry, so much just overall acting skills without talking very much. It's very powerful for me. It was very moving for me. And it was overall just a strong movie. And the horror elements in this worked for me overall. There's a cat in this movie. You can decide if the cat is an angel or a devil, but I know what my version of the cat is. And I'll leave it in the comments maybe down below, or maybe I'll make a spoiler review for this. But the cat is definitely somebody that plays a big part in this movie. And the commentary on the cat being emotional, how much emotional support that the cat is giving to, both Quinn and Nyong'o's characters in this movie, I think was really well done. And yeah, I liked and I loved A Quiet Place Day One. It takes this world and you get that early first day action, how it would feel, kind of the fear in the populace, discovering what's going on, discovering how, stay quiet in a city like New York City, and you hear the ambient sounds of New York City. So in a way, people may be able to mask themselves better than maybe they could in a quiet wilderness. But you get that with some visually impressive shots on top of just a very, very, very personal, deep story between one character's journey, which ends up morphing into two characters working on that same journey. And the more I think about this movie, the more I actually love it more. And I appreciate that it's not being something so simple-minded and so basic that, these franchises might have been. No, this was special, this was deep, this was more than that. And it may pay for it at the box office. There may be a uprising of people who just want dumbed down shit, and if you don't give them dumbed down shit, they get mad because they'll call it boring. Having to think, for them at the movies, they were hoping maybe this was going to be a classic actiony, I just need to turn my brain off and watch people die type movie, and that's never been A Quiet Place. A Quiet Place franchise has always been about these deep personal connections with characters and their survival in this world and their journeys in this world. And for me, A Quiet Place Day One is getting a diamond. I love this. Again, Lupita Nyong'o gave probably one of the best acting performances by a leading lady this whole entire year so far. I loved just the intricacies that she brought to that character. And Joseph Quinn was very solid in that. And I love these character-driven movies that have an interesting ending, per se. And yeah, that's my thoughts on A Quiet Place Day One. Tell me in the comments down below, do you agree with me with my comments in terms of what you were expecting or not expecting? Again, I'm somebody, when I go to the movies, I want to think, I want to be provoked sometimes, and this series has always done that, so I'm coming off more positive. Maybe you went into this movie thinking it was going to be more of a basic-y, action-y type movie, so you wanted to get that, and maybe you'll be disappointed with that. Tell me in the comments down below. Again, though, I'm giving it a straight-up diamond. And as far as what's on the channel this week, I'm going to be having on Sunday my top 10 movies of the year so far. I'm not going to rank them 1 through 10. They'll be in alphabetical order, so check that out on Sunday here. Otherwise, have a great week. I'll keep up with the Big Brother kind of content coming out. We got the House of the Dragon review coming out for this week, as well as The Boys every week. And yeah, The Bear's out on the channel, so check all that out, and I'll see you guys later. Again, not many spoilers here, other than I loved A Quiet Place Day One. But if you're going and expecting a big action-y type movie, this might not be perfectly happy for you. But if you go and understand this is a very, very deep character, study and character journey type movie, I think there's a lot to love and a lot to praise here. So I'll see you later, and yeah.